Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again here to Virtual Racing Network. Tonight we are here at Autoclub Speedway once again with the Northwest Truck Series. This is the Northwest Racing Series. This is their Truck Series. Before we get into all of the racing details, we have two people we're going to try to get in the booth with us here tonight. Two drivers here, but we're not going to be talking to them as a driver necessarily. We'll explain here in a minute, but before we do, we want to thank all the sponsors that have come on board here for this season, for the series. Of course, ourselves here at VRN, and playing a double duty here tonight, that is Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm. Make sure you check them out at wallsbeardco.com. They make a great gift for Christmas here for the man in your life, or just a man in your family. If they have a beard, definitely a great product to take care of them, so make sure you head on over there and pick some up today. Northwest Racing Series, the official one-to-go sponsor here for tonight's race, and of course this is the series you're watching right now, so hopefully you enjoy it. Ohio IndyCar League, the official IndyCar League of VRN here, of course, for 2018. SimSpeedShop.com, your one-stop shop for custom-made button boxes and e-brakes. Make sure you check them out. And of course, iBog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. And we didn't have a chance to get in here. We apologize, Justin, if you're out there watching. We do have a new one. We want to give them a shout out anyway. They just came on board yesterday, I believe. Yeah, it was yesterday. Came on board as a sponsor. Of course, that is RaceCore. We broadcast them on Sundays and Tuesdays, and going to be again back on Sundays in 2019. We have officially signed that deal. So RaceCore coming on board yesterday as an official sponsor. So obviously make sure you check them out if you're looking to get into a league, RaceCore Online Racing League, and you can watch all the racing here on Virtual Racing Network. That being said, we need to take just a quick second here. We're going to see if we can get those two drivers in here in just a moment, as they have information that we want to get from them. So give us just a minute, and we will be right back. Alright, so they're on a fuel run here, getting some fuel mileage, so we'll be talking to him about that as well. But Jeff is going to bring Mark down here, assuming he is here. He is in the sim, he's just not on his radio at the moment, so we'll be contacting them as quickly as possible. The reason we're leaving the graphics where they are right now is because you'll see why here in a minute. We don't want to divulge too much information here, of course. But we will go ahead and go through your point standings here for tonight's race. As you know, Jeff Stamnell and Mark Walls do have race wins here for tonight, or in this series, so they are advanced automatically. They don't have to worry about too terribly much here tonight. Right behind them, of course, Chris White, Brian Barnes, Sean Brightsman, Josh Coley, and Brian Bennett, as well as Steve Silstad, are your chase drivers coming into tonight's race. So this will be interesting to see who shuffles around where. But we do know for sure, as of right now, we know Steve Silstad will not be here due to a new work schedule. He is unable to race with us. And Brian Bennett is not here at the moment. So this could get interesting. If Brian Bennett does not show up, which is looking like he is not, with 15 minutes left to go in practice, that would automatically secure Josh Coley, Sean Brightsman, Brian Barnes, and Chris White, Mark Walls, and Jeff Stamnell into the next round. So that's what we're going to be talking to Jeff a little bit about. And then, of course, we have Mark coming down here to talk to him about something separate. but we're going to give you an inside feel of what's going to change and how this playoff works, since we really don't have any battles going on for the playoffs. If you're looking back through ninth place right now, John Ottenbacher sitting in ninth place, just outside the chase here in ninth. And then you, of course, have Corey Walters sitting there as well. So two very fast drivers that just didn't quite make it in to those top 8 positions. So unfortunately, they are not out, but still look to see both of them put on a great race for you here tonight. Of course, Ryan Maines is here. I saw him earlier sitting in 11th place at the moment in points. Tom Green in 12th. He is here tonight, so I expect to see those two kind of battle it out here. Only 24 points separating them here in the point standings. That is probably not going to change too much position-wise, but Tom could possibly gain some positions on Ryan Maines before the points are all said and done here tonight. Ray Fournier, I'm not sure if I saw him here tonight or not. Yes, I did. He is indeed here. So he is currently 12th fastest on the track. So he is with a 40.707. So he's here tonight. Josh Cushman, I did not see him. And a few of these drivers back here in the back. William Fletcher is here tonight. So some of these drivers will be here tonight. But as far as the top 20 goes as a whole, I don't think we'll see too much shifting in there. Of course, round number 2 will be coming up next week at Iowa before the off week for Christmas. So a lot of stuff's going to be shaking up in the point standings here. But we'll go ahead and get rid of those here for the moment. We'll bring them back once we get Jeff and Mark down here. Just to give you a little rundown here of the track tonight, it is, of course, 4 turns, 2 miles. We have 90 laps around this place, 180 miles, 78-degree track temp, so it's not a too terribly hot track. Of course, your air temp, 78 degrees. We will be watching that track temp here tonight to see if it goes up or down, or if it stays about where it's at. Of course, typical wind speed, 2 miles per hour out of the north. So not too windy. That will be playing a factor, but that track temp could potentially play a factor. We'll see how these tires wear off, as we're looking at Jeff Stabnow, of course, who has run a fuel run here, so we'll get that from him. But 40.057 was his fastest lap. He is currently running 42.1s. So right there shows you that we are going to have at least 2 seconds of fall off in a fuel run, assuming we get a full fuel run here tonight. So that's something to be watching for. Will we see a full fuel run here? We did in the Xfinity, as they went caution free at Autoclub on Monday night. Will they duplicate that again here tonight? That is all of the questions that we have to watch for and keep an eye for. Again, we're watching Jeff to see when he is pulling off the track, and it looks like about down to 160, but he is gaining speed, so he is not done just yet. We'll be talking to Jeff Stabnow and, of course, Mark Walls when we get that chance to do so. Let's go ahead and pull up some track facts here for you real quick. Even though the race has not started yet, your fastest lap is a 39.925. It says fastest mile per hour. Keep in mind that is the average. That is not the fastest. So, that is 180.3. That was the average lap speed, miles per hour, when the lap was run. That is not the fastest. We didn't get a chance to change that, but we will be letting you know here in the race that is not entirely accurate. Of course, that driver was Josh Coley, who is the fastest driver in the session right now, with that 39.5 or 951. So he is the only driver to hit a 39-second lap. So we will definitely have to talk to him as well if we get the chance. It looks like no, I thought Jeff Stabnow was pulling off there, running out of fuel, but he is trying to run this thing dry. And there he goes by your screen. So he is not out of fuel yet. So give us just a minute. Let's pull Josh Coley up here real quick, and we'll see what he has to say about all this. And actually, correction, he's down there practicing, and Brian Bennett is here. So this is going to really shake things up here as we'll bring those point standings back up. We won't talk to him just yet. Brian Bennett has made it here, and we talked about it earlier. Brian Bennett's currently about 37 points behind Josh Coley. I don't think that's going to be something he can overcome, even if he was to be here, and he is. But I just don't think, as long as, the 33 Josh Coley starts this race, that should secure him in. Again, this is all napkin math, but with only 16 drivers, that's not enough points. So as long as Josh Coley starts this race, he is locked in. Keep it in mind, Monday night, he got knocked out of the point standings, or out of the chase in the point standings, after a disappointing finish. We did get word that his VR headset blacked out on him. That is what happened. Put him into the outside wall, gave him the damage. So very unfortunate for him. But that is indeed what happened. So it stinks that he's out, but it looks like he will be in here tonight. So hopefully he can take full advantage of being in the chase. And this is kind of the premier series too, for anyone that's not familiar with it. I guess you could say it is their open setup. They spend more time on this. So to win the championship in here, it would be equivalent to winning the championship in, say, the NASCAR Cup Series versus the Xfinity Series. So this is the Big Boy Series. This is where everybody wants to win at. And right now, he's got a shot to do that, as he will be moving on. We got about 8.5 minutes, so give us just a minute. We're going to get a little bit of a hydration break, and we will be right back here in just about 30 seconds. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. 7:45 left on the clock, and it looks like we may be seeing from Jeff here in just a minute, as it looks like he is done with his run there. And apparently I accidentally moved the broadcast booth, but Jeff, welcome to the booth.
Yeah, I was trying to get Mark here, but I couldn't find the broadcast booth.
Apparently we moved downstairs all of a sudden. But real fast, we don't want to take too much of y'all's time here. We know you need to get the practice in. Both of you have wins, and with Brian Bennett missing a race, it's almost impossible. As long as Josh Coley starts this race, he should be locked in. So not a whole lot's going to be going on as far as battling for a position to get into the round of two. So that's why we wanted to bring Jeff here and talk to you. Is for the ones that don't know how this all works, once we get to the next round, what exactly is going to happen, and how is this all going to reset and change again? We figured we'd give the fans a bit to let them see kind of how it works.
Well, first of all, to correct you, we have a win in advance rule. So Brian Bennett, even though he had to miss last week's race as a chase member, if he wins tonight, he moves on. So it's not a complete certainty that Josh Coley starts and goes on. If Brian Bennett wins, he advances. And then we'll take, so the top 6 will go on to round 2, and we'll have a 3-race round there. And it's the same thing. If you win, you advance. Only 4 guys are going to the finale. So up to 3 of them could win their way in, leaving only 1 ever to point their way in. All points will reset in that round to, I think, 2,000. And then you'll get 1 bonus point for regular season wins, which means Mark gets a pretty big pat on us. I think he had 5 regular season wins, and Sean, myself, and Brian Bennett each had 2. So, yeah, that's a pretty big. Mark's gonna have about a 3 or 4 point lead on us there. But again, 3 races, win in advance, and then we fill the remaining slots with points people. And then when we get to Homestead, of course, highest place finisher of the remaining 4 is the champ.
Oh, of course, we knew that too. It's completely, that scenario just completely slipped my mind. As we just mentioned, you two were in because of win, so obviously he has a shot here, and this is a win and you're in kind of scenario for him. So we wanted to give the fans a little bit of breakdown here of how that's going to go. And now to Mark, who we do have in here, and now we're going to pull up the full bar here for you. We didn't want to display this until now. It is the David Cater 180, of course, presented by Walls Beard Co. So I'm sure some of this probably had a little hand in it, as our Mark did. So we wanted to give one more time. We're going to be posting that GoFundMe link in chat throughout the race. So Mark, give them just a quick rundown of who he was, what he did, and why they should donate here to him.
Yeah, David Cater, he's an icon for iRacing, as Jeff pointed out. He helps anyone and everyone in a way. And when I first got on the service, about 2 years into the service, I had the privilege to run with him on his team, running the old Xfinity car, and got to compete for championships in the actual Open Series. Finished third to his win, so I learned a lot from him. A lot of my setup building came from him. So the iRaceforLife.org events that he puts on in Texas, the guys come out and actually go to classes and learn how to build setups. He's just done a lot for iRacing, and it's time to show respect for him. We got the logo on the hood, in memory of David Cater tonight, so hopefully we can get it in victory lane.
Well, definitely, it's good to see. I had a feeling this was going to be coming, as we've been seeing it a lot all over Facebook. It seems like every time you refresh, there's new stuff on there about it. This race dedicated to him and all he did. Obviously, as you said, it's going to be on Mark's hood, and I'm not sure if it'll be on Jeff's hood as well. But definitely on Mark's, and we'll try to get a good shot of that throughout the night. But that being said, that's what we wanted to talk about. We have about 2.5 minutes or so. So we're going to step away here for one last time. When we come back, we'll recap practice here, move on to qualifying, and then we'll go to your race. So don't go anywhere. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes left on the clock. As you just heard, that is how it's going to go. Brian Bennett is in a must-win scenario here tonight if he wants to advance into the next round. Completely slipped their mind that he could actually win this race. He is a fast driver, so there's a chance he could do it. And then, of course, you just found out why this race is called the David Cater 180, presented by Wolves Beard Co. A huge influence here on iRacing to a lot of people. So we will be posting that donation link throughout chat throughout the night. So make sure if you have the ability to donate there, that you do. It is a great cause. But we're going to step away from the national anthem. We'll be right back with qualifying.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ram ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and nobody is out on the track just yet. So we're going to give him a moment to get out there, and it looks like Josh Coley is going to be one of the first ones, so we'll drop down and put qualifying up on there as we'll get rid of that real fast. And put qualifying up as well as your driver bar. Again, Josh Coley in the number 33 here tonight. Going to be putting a CRT Chevrolet Silverado out on the track. He was the fastest in practice. Will he duplicate it here in the race? Well, we'll find out very soon, as we already know he's fast. He's in the chase. Will he be advancing to the next round? Well, we will find out very shortly, as he is doing a good job hanging on. Unfortunately, like we said, got eliminated in the last round here, round one, the last race of round one in the Xfinity Series on Monday night. So he's looking to regroup and get it back here, as we are going to switch to camera. We can get a good shot of here as he is out there doing 130, and it looks like he's not really getting up to speed right now. Very interesting that he's only running about 130. So let's switch over to Ryan Maines, who currently is running 160. So he's up to speed there, and nobody officially has put any time just yet. They will be very shortly, as there goes his warm-up lap for the 13 of Ryan Maines. As he first lap this next time by, we'll let you know every time as soon as they come in to the best of our ability here. But seeing some nice colors here, some bright greens, bright reds, yellows on these car numbers. They definitely make them pop out on this new overlay. We'll see who will be the first one. It's going to be Gary Nichols to the top with a 40.242. Josh Coley with a 47.522 behind him, and now he's up to full speed. So that first lap, not quite as fast as we'd like to see, but he was driving only 130 to 140 miles an hour. So interesting there. Ryan Maines currently in second place with a 40.428. As we'll see, he does have a nice little VRN logo back there on the trunk. And we'll see. We definitely want to check with Mark Walls when we see him. Chris White in the 00 machine. Going to try to put SimStar Motorsports in victory lane here tonight. Ooh, as he scrapes the wall, that's not going to do it right there. But Josh Coley to the top on his second lap with a blistering fast time, 40.028. What a time. Not the 38 we saw earlier, but still a fast time for him. In fifth place right now is Doug Hunt with a 40.684. And that number 49 Northwest Machine, he gets it loose. Can he save it is the question. We're about to see as he's still sliding it, but he gets it going back the right direction. Jeff Stabnow out on the track. He puts in a 40.899. And he's going to put in a 40.139 for his second lap. And look who we mentioned earlier. Excuse me. Brian Bennett with a 40.023.006 faster than Josh Coley, as he is on the pole. That's what he needs to do. Win, and he's in for tonight's race. And again, we'll show those point standings here in a minute if we get the chance to go over them here. So we also have them here where we can look them up. If he wins, that would potentially knock Josh Coley out, unless Sean Brightsman has a bad race. Sean Brightsman is currently out on the track qualifying in the number 46 machine. Right now, in 5th place is Sean Brightsman with negative 120 points out of the lead. Josh Coley's right behind him, negative 122. So if Brian Bennett wins this race, Josh Coley needs to finish 2 to 3 spots ahead of Sean Brightsman to get into the chase. So now we have a real race on our hands to determine, and we see Mark Walls out on the track. As you see that logo on the hood there, we'll see if we can get a good shot of it there. It's just hard to see on his hood. But we should be able to get a nice view of it here. Let's go to our static cam and see if we can get a good shot of it. Not the best shot there. Let's see. We've got some cameras. We can get a shot there. There should be a nice shot of that logo on the hood. We just can't quite get the view we want here out of our cameras here that are in the sky. So we're going to keep trying here to see what we can do. We do have a few different cameras that we can go to. We're going to try to get up as close to that car as we can. I hate to keep switching cameras around, but we want to see a good view of that logo. We just can't quite get it there where we want it. So without it going by so fast you can't see it, but there's a decent shot of it right there as he goes around. Currently 5th fastest with a 40.223 here with 4 minutes left to go. And we should get a pretty good shot of it right there, as you can see it on the hood, as he comes around to complete his next lap. Still a 40.223. He's in 5th place, trying to put it in victory lane tonight. That is his goal, is to win this race for David Cater. So we'll see if he can do that here tonight, and he puts in a 40.076. That will put him in 3rd, 0.048 behind Josh Coley. Jeff Stabnow right behind him in 4th. Sean Brightsman, the one that needs to have a good finish here, because, again, how this scenario plays out. Brian Bennett, his only hope is to win this race. So Brian Bennett has to win. If he wins, Josh Coley needs to be, I would say, minimum 5 spots ahead of Sean Brightsman, who just hit the wall in qualifying. That is going to hurt his time drastically, as that lap is not going to count. He is going to have to regroup, and we are getting reports of 43 to 43 laps on fuel. So that is good information to have. So, for anyone out there watching, make sure you are in your seat good, because this is going to be some very, very close racing here. So far, Ray Fournier, William Fletcher, Scott Hutchinson, and Brian Barnes not qualifying. Sean Brightsman did, but hit the wall on his lap, so he is going to park it on pit road. We'll see if he comes back out. But again, we'll go over this throughout the race to let you know exactly how everything is going to go down. But this is a very, very close race. Again, it's crazy how it's working out. If Brian Bennett wrecks out of the race, anything happens where he does not win this race, Brightsman and Coley are in. If he wins, obviously Coley needs to have a really good finish, and he needs Brightsman to be at least 5 spots behind him to be safe. Again, he only really needs 3, but we're saying 5 to be safe. We got a minute 40 left, so we're going to step away here for the last time. When we come back, it will be time for the Walls Beard Co. starting grid. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and it is time for your Walls Beard Co. starting grid. And the man that needs to get the win here tonight, that is Brian Bennett in the 71. He is on pole. This is going to get very interesting. The guy that, doesn't necessarily want to see him win, but may want to see him win is their friends. That is Josh Coley sitting in second place. We're going to drop down to the grid, and we're going to go ahead and go through it. Here is your Walls Beard Co. starting grid on row 1. It's going to be the 71 of Brian Bennett. On his outside is going to be the 33 of Josh Coley. Row 2 is going to be the 48 of Mark Walls and the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. Row 3 is going to be the 89 of John Ottenbacher and the 8 of Gary Nichols. Row 4 is going to be the 13 of Ryan Maines and the 12 of Jason Hunt. Row 5 is going to be the 00 of Chris White and the 77 of Tom Green. Row 6 is going to be the 49 of Doug Hunt and the 46 of Sean Breisman, who needs to have a really good race here, especially with Brian Bennett on pole. So getting into the outside wall on his qualifying lap is not the way to do it, but he's fast and he is talented. We'll look to see him bounce back later on tonight. Row 7 is going to be the 4 of Brian Barnes and the 28 of William Fletcher. And row 8 is going to be the 26 of Ray Fournier and the 91 of Scott Hutchinson. And that will do it here for the Walls Beard Co. starting grid, as they are just about moments away. It looks like pace car is about ready to dive off. Looks like Scott Hutchinson and William Fletcher are not going to start tonight's race, as they are rolling off pit road, and we are ready to go racing here in just one lap for the first time tonight. As there you see the 46 rolling off, and that will do it as we're going to get to the track here. And again, it should be some great racing. We want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. As always, we will only do part of this once. If you're new here tonight, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell. You'll be notified of all upcoming events. And of course, if you like the racing, hit the thumbs up. And if you've ever been around and you just love what you see here, you love what you hear, and you want to be a little bit more part of the channel, we have channel memberships, as well as a donation link that will pop up throughout the night. But of course, we will do, if any donations that come in through the link tonight, we will pass along to the GoFundMe ourselves. So any donations through the PayPal that come in tonight via the link in chat, we are going to pass straight on to the GoFundMe here, as our little contribution will match it with whatever we're already going to give anyway. Oh, that is where those are going to go here for tonight's race. So again, you know exactly where it's going here for tonight, with the green flag set to come out for the first time here tonight. As they are ready, green flag is out. Again, for anyone that is new here, if you see the green bar underneath the driver's name, that indicates that they are in the chase. The yellow bar indicates that they are in the chase and they have advanced to the next round. As you see, Stabnow and Walls, those two yellow bars mean they are advanced. Green means you are in, and we are racing for the first time here tonight as they come barreling to the backstretch. It is going to be Brian Bennett that's out front. We'll see, though. Josh Coley on his outside. He may get him here. We'll see. Not by much. They're 3 wide coming into the corner. Mark Walls trying to get to the lead right now, and he may have it. We'll see. They're still 3 wide, but now for second place. This is an all-out battle here between these chase drivers, as there's 4 of them in the top 4 right now. Brian Bennett will officially lead that lap. Mark Walls right behind him, and it's going to be, Jeff Stabnow right behind him. Mark Walls to the bottom. Josh Coley getting shuffled back to 4th place, and we're on lap number 2, and they're already starting to duke it out here. What a battle this one's going to be here tonight. As again, early in this race, we're already starting to see some really close racing. So I expect to see nothing less than an all-out battle all night long. We'll see again, will they go caution-free like they did on Monday night? We'll be looking to see for that. As here comes the 89 of John Ottenbacher. He's going to try to get into the mix now. So is the 13 of Ryan Maines. And it looks like Chris White back there as well in that 00 machine. This is a huge group of drivers right here in this group. The front two side by side, we're going to go back to that one for a minute. Look at them side by side. Jeff Stabnow trying to get by Brian Bennett. That is how good these drivers are. As those are your four chase drivers right there bunched up. 1, 2, 3, 4. But Jeff Stabnow going to take the lead officially. Will he get the lead is the question. As we'll go ahead and put your top three up on the top here so you can see it. Jeff Stabnow leads his first lap. Brian Bennett has led 2. Here comes Mark Walls to the inside. Can he get by him? Again, such battles going on here for these chase drivers. It is crazy just how good these drivers are. Let's go back a little ways, though. We want to go back in here as we see somebody off the pace. That's the 77 of Tom Green. Something happened to him, but he's off pace, but he's back going the right direction. Look at these side by side. Ryan Maines, Josh Coley, the 00 of Chris White, the 89 of John Ottenbacher. These 4 here, even 5 if you count in the 12 of Jason Hunt, all just cram-packed in one little area here. Oh, and you're right, they are indeed, they are just asking for that caution to come out here. They are side by side, 2 deep, almost 3 deep, and you can't count out Gary Nichols in the 8. He's back there. He's trying to get into the mix and make something happen as well. So here they come. We'll go back up to Josh Coley, one of our chase drivers, side by side. And, almost to the back bumper is the 89 of John Ottenbacher to the 13 of Ryan Maines. They keep it clean, though. As we're going back here, Mark Walls finally did get by Brian Bennett. So quickly, they are making Wicked Chassis Racing the front 2 drivers once again. And they're going to push Brian Bennett back to 3rd place. Again, for anyone that's just joining us, we mentioned earlier, and we're going to keep mentioning here, this is a must-win scenario for Brian Bennett. If he does not win this race, he's out of the chase. So this is worst-case scenario for him. And just making it even worse is the fact that they got by him so quickly. So he will probably have to make some adjustments to that truck here tonight and see if he can't get it just a little bit faster. Maybe get some more grip out of it somewhere so he can move forward. But we're going to go back here to this group again. Josh Goldie, Chris White, and Ryan Maines in that order. But Chris White trying to clear the 13, but just can't quite do it. Again, that is the 13 of Ryan Maines, and Ryan Maines may get him back on the outside. We'll see. As we see, I thought that said SimStar Motorsports. I do apologize for that. It does not. The 00 also running a David Cater, in memory of David Cater, paint job here tonight. We'll see if we can't get a good shot of that, maybe under caution, if we get a caution. But right now, that is what we see on there. We got a good glimpse of it there. Again, William Fletcher, Scott Hutchinson not starting the race here tonight. And we'll see, as it looks like the 13 will hold off the 00 of Chris White. But here comes the 12 of Jason Hunt into the picture. We'll get up here as Brian Bennett has found some life. He's coming back to the front as he gets by Mark Walls. And I don't see any damage on Mark Walls. So Mark Walls relinquishing second place here, probably not by free will. Again, no damage to Mark Walls there as they're racing side by side once again. It is going to be, I don't know who that is that is leading or in second there. Oh, Brian Bennett having a connection issue. That's the last thing he wants to see right now. As here comes Josh Coley. They are both down there in White Knuckle Racing. So those two may work together a little bit. Josh Coley, though, he is in a very tricky spot. As we mentioned, he would love to push his teammate here, or semi-teammate, to the I believe they're full teammates, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But he would love to see him in and get the win. But if he gets the win, then that means that he has to be several spots ahead of Sean Brightsman. Right now, Josh Coley sitting in 4th place. Sean Brightsman sitting in 7th place. So there's a 3-point gap there as far as points go. So as they run right now, if Bennett was to get the win, he possibly could get in. He should get in by about 1 point. So that is all the stuff we are having to pay attention to here tonight and watch as closely as possible. Meanwhile, Jeff Stabnow out front leading this race. We have 80 to go when we get to the line. We still have a lot of racing left here tonight, so it'll be interesting to see as Mark Walls does get back by Brian Bennett, and now Josh Coley's going to get by him as well as they just get by the line. So it looked like there Brian Bennett may have found something, but then all of a sudden lost it again as well. So it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe he's just kind of holding it here to see what he can and can't do with these older tires. We have 11 laps on them. Nobody's made a pit stop. We haven't had any cautions yet. We're 11 laps in. So much could possibly happen here tonight. We have so much on the line. As let's go to Brian Bennett real fast. Let's go on board with him real quick. As let's go to his helmet cam here, and you can see exactly what Brian Bennett is seeing here tonight. Trying to run down the 33, the 48, and the 24. Again, Coley, Walls, and Stabnow in that order from 3rd to 1st. You can see just how bumpy this track is too. It is a very rough track, as you can see the cars in front of them. It looks like they're just bouncing crazy, but that is just because of how bumpy this track is. And our front 2 cars are the drivers that already advanced, so they have nothing to lose here as far as winning or not winning. So this is all about the win here. They want to get it, but they don't need it. And also, we talked about the scenario here, so we'll get rid of that and go to our main camera here. And we talked about how Brian Bennett has to win. Kind of the same scenario here. Josh Coley and Sean Brightsman, they don't have to win to be in, but it would definitely solidify them into the next round. And we haven't even delved into all those scenarios here tonight. If Josh Coley was to win, it would pretty much be about where it was. Sean Brightsman would be in. If Brightsman was to win, Josh Coley obviously would still be in. So, not much is going to change. But those are scenarios that could potentially happen here tonight. So, a lot of things could happen. What we do know here is Mark Walls is trying to run down his teammate, Jeff Stabnow, to get the lead here. And we're trying to get a good shot of that hood, as it's just not quite working out the way we want. But he is definitely right on his heels trying to make something happen. As there it is, to get a little bit of a shot of it. It's obviously in memory of David Cater, little emblem, and it has a cartoon on it, but I can't tell quite what it is on the hood. And I want to point out here too, if you go back to I believe it is Sean Brightsman in the 46, then you have a huge gap as you go right there before you get to the next car. So a significant gap from 7th to 8th, and then from 8th to 9th you have a little bit of a gap as well. So we have some serious gaps here in the field. These last group here have really kind of fallen off the pack, and that could help us result in that caution-free race again here tonight. As there it is, there's your front 2, and Brian Bennett, what happened to him? He is now back in 5th place, so in the split second we were gone, he falls back here. Let's take a look, see if we can kind of see what happened to him, as he was already passed at that point. We'll see he was there too. So we're trying to figure out exactly where this happened at. as this was in a very short time. As we'll see right here. This is a little ways back, but there's not much going on the track. Let's see what happened to allow him to get by, or if he's just fallen off that much. And it looks like he has. It looks like possibly he's just fallen off enough that he is able to get past. Here it is. So that is what happened. Nothing happened to him as far as getting into the wall or anything like that. So we'll go back up to live, as he has now been passed by Chris White and Sean Brightsman as well. So Brian Bennett going the wrong direction here early in this race, but that is the key. It is very, very early in this race. He is trying to regroup here, and the next one to get by him would be the 89 of John Ottenbacher. So the question is, will he get by him here before we get to pit stops? We are currently 18 laps into this race. That's what they have on there, but somebody forgot to inform us about Jason Hunt. We knew he was quick, but he has come to life here in early in this race. He has just outdrove everybody on the track so far to get up to third place. And here he is trying to go by the front two, Mark Walls and Jeff Stabnow, as Mark Walls will lead his first lap here of the race. But it may be one of his only laps if that 12 has anything to say about it, as he is right there trying to get by him. But right now, after all of this, it is changed up. It's now Mark Walls, then Jeff Stabnow, and Jason Hunt running in third place. Jason Hunt's going to take it to the high side. Can't get by him. Jeff Stabnow is going to go up and close that door. So it's going to be the 12 having to get to the bottom here, as we're going to go to the front. That's Jeff Stabnow gets right to the back bumper of his teammate. And in the end, he will let off a little bit not to get into him. But what a race here it has been for these drivers. Is Jeff Stabnow trying to get back to first. He led 15 laps. Now it's his teammates' turn to see how many he can lead. But again, I do not want to let that 12 out of my sight, as he has come a long ways to get to here. Let's see where he started. He started in 8th. He's up to 3rd, so he is on the move here tonight and doing a fantastic job of it at that. So something we definitely do not want to overlook here, as he is on the move to the front, and he very well could put this thing in victory lane here tonight and make an upset here. Non-chase driver putting it into victory lane, so something definitely to watch. As we see, Ryan Maines has made a pit stop. He's one lap down. Early pit stop at that, as we're only on lap 21, and he came down this last lap, so he just came out of pit road. So early pit stop for him. He probably got into the outside wall, got a little damage, and used his fast repair. And we'll go back up to the front. Not a whole lot going on here. It looks like the 12 of Jason Hunt kind of hit a brick wall when he got to these guys. But Sean Brightsman and Josh Coley side by side, battling with each other at this moment. If I'm Josh Coley, I don't want to press the issue too much. If Sean Brightsman is faster than me, I don't know if I would battle him. I might let him go. Although that is not what you think as a driver. You want to gain every position you can. But I might let him go. It's early. If he's faster, if he can get by me on his own, let him go by. It's too early in this race to be battling side by side, mainly because Brian Bennett has fallen back to 8th place. So Brian Bennett is the kind of ringer here that has to get the win. If he doesn't get the win, then it doesn't matter between Sean Brightsman and Josh Coley. They don't have to race each other too hard. They're both going to be in. So many different scenarios could play out here tonight. Pit stops could play into this. If we see any mistakes made on pit road by any of our top drivers, you see Mark Walls or Jeff Stabnow have bad stalls. Josh Coley, who was on pole, if he has a bad stop, that could easily let Brian Bennett get back to the front. If you have a collision on pit road, any of these scenarios that could play out could potentially get Brian Bennett back into this race. So those are all things we have to watch for here tonight, as it looks like Sean Brightsman's going to go to the inside of Josh Coley and try to get him for the pass. So we're going to go silent here for a minute and just let you watch this battle for fourth place. All right, we're back. As you see, the 46, Sean Brightsman has cleared the 33 of Josh Coley. Again, right now, as they run, they're both in. It's a very, very delicate situation. They're both in only because this driver right there, that's 71 coming into your screen of Brian Bennett, is back. And sorry, Josh Coley did not start on pole. Brian Bennett did. So I apologize for that. We was mistaken on the pole sitter here for tonight's race. But Brian Bennett was your pole sitter. We'll bring that information up real fast. He is currently in ninth place is his lowest. He started first, has fallen off here. So this, what could be interesting here is maybe Brian Bennett was set up for a short run and has fallen off here in the long run. Is looks like as of right now we are gonna make it to the green flag pit stops here. Again, 44 laps. That is a very interesting number, for the fact that 45 is the halfway point. So we very well could see some strategy here if we don't see a caution, for the fact that you see someone like the 48 or the 24, Mark Walls, Jeff Sam, now that are in. They could potentially try to gamble here, maybe stay out an extra lap and come in and only have to make one stop. But 43 laps to 44 laps, that is going to be 1 lap short of the halfway. So, that it's just so interesting how that's going to play out. I'm sure somebody will try to gamble. Will it pay off or not? If it does, they might have a future in Las Vegas, but it may not work here tonight. We'll have to wait and see. Although Ryan Maines, who did pit earlier, 1 lap down, he will have to pit again, but he could make it on 1 stop from this point on. So we'll see maybe if that is his strategy to maybe pit early and only have to pit 1 time. As he's got 8 laps on his. He's got 20 laps fresher tires than everybody else, as he's trying to get by the 49 of Doug Hunt, who's on the lead lap, and looks like he's going to do so there. He'll easily get by them because of those fresher tires, as he takes it to the bottom, and he will easily get by him. That is one thing about this track here. On that inside, in the little tri-oval, on fresher tires, probably 10 laps or less, you can go down below that white line at the tri-oval and gain a little bit of speed. However, you cannot do that on older tires. It could very easily throw you for a loop there and spin you out, so you got to be very careful there on older tires. Right now, let's take a quick look here. You're watching the David Cater 180 presented by Walls of Beard Co. Let's take a look at our top 5, as we're having overlay issues there. We'll have to address those. First place is the 48 of Mark Walls, and followed by second place, the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. Third place, the 46 of Sean Brightsman. Fourth place is the 12 of Jason Hunt. And, of course, fifth place is the 33 of Josh Coley. That does it there for your top 5. So put the ticker back up at the top. You'll put your top 3 back up on the top here of your bar. What a race so far as Jeff Stabnow still trying to run down his teammates. We are caution free here on lap 31, so let's bring up some track or race stats here for a minute. As you see, it's 40.335 is the fastest lap, or the fastest laps time-wise. That says fastest mile per hour. That is not correct. That is the average speed for that lap, 178.58. That's the average speed for Jeff Stabnow. On his lap there that he ran, that is Jeff Stabnow is the fastest driver here in the session, and that was on lap 4. So very interesting there. We've had 2 different lead changes here. The average lap 42.038, and we want to pull one more thing here up very quickly as we again didn't have a chance to bring it up earlier. Here at Autoclub Speedway, of course, we know there's 4 turns, 2-mile track, 90 laps, 180 miles. We talked about this earlier, though. Here's you're watching the battle for the lead. That track temp was 78 degrees, and air temp was 77. They have both dropped 1. Air temp now 76 degrees, track temp 77 degrees. So a very interesting scenario there that those two have dropped. Like they have both 1 degree, and there you see it 78 degrees now 78. This track is track temp is fluctuating quite a bit, so it is something that we are gonna have to watch here. As while we have it here, let's do this very quickly here. We're gonna pull this up. We don't use this too terribly often. But we are going to pull it up here as we have them in here somewhere. There it is. We'll see. There you go. There is the front 2. That is how close these guys are to each other on the track. You can't even tell their dots apart, as that is just how close they are here. We're going to take Mark Walls and put him off there, and let's go to Ryan Maines here. Let's go to Ray Fournier. We'll pull him up really quick. The last car on the lead lap, and you can see right there how close these two are together. As you are, you say 2 together, but the 24 right there, half the track apart. The 24 of Jeff Stabnow, your race leader. Sorry, that is not the race leader. Mark Wall's the race leader, as we're following them, but we got the wrong one up there. We do apologize for that, as we're not used to using this. As there we go, we'll put your class leader up there, and then we'll go to Ray Fournier. So there you go. Now you have them, and actually less than half a track now. As you can see, Mark Walls will probably catch him here, and I'd say the next 10 or so laps, but pit stops could change all that, so we'll keep an eye on that and see how it plays out, and we'll go ahead and get rid of that off of your screen. But you're watching the battle for the lead. Pit stops coming up here in roughly 9 laps here in just a moment. So we'll check in with that. And we'll check back here to see Josh Coley still running in 5th place. Sean Brightsman still running in 3rd. And then we'll check in with Brian Bennett, who has fallen back to 10th place now. So he is falling down through this field very quickly. That is not what he wants to see. He needs to get it going back in the right direction. He was our pole sitter, but so far has just not been successful on the long run here. So Mark Walls is the leader here so far. We are going to step away here for a quick commercial break. We're going to go non-stop here on VRN so we can get this quick commercial break out of the way. When we come back, pit stops should be coming up. All right, while we were away, you saw Jeff Stabnow take the lead. That is why we stay non-stop, as Jeff Stabnow just took the lead back from Mark Walls. Pit stops are coming up here in about 4 laps. Again, when we're running 40 seconds a lap, that's less than 4 minutes before pit stops will be underway, as we're watching that front group very closely here, the front 2 anyway. So we'll keep an eye to see how it all plays out. Everyone else kind of spread out here on lap 40 as we see somebody coming down pit road early, and that is going to be Josh Coley coming down pit road here on lap 40. So we'll see if he's just trying to short pit or if this was the plan or unplanned stop. I would imagine it was probably planned as he brings it down pit road. This will indicate, this will kind of trigger everybody else to come down unless they are committed to their plan, as we'll see if he's going to take 4 tires and fuel. I believe he will. There is 2 sides going up, and the other side should be going up. There it is. So 4 tires and fuel here for the 33 of Josh Coley. He's off 14.9 seconds, and we figured it would. Here comes Chris White down pit road. He's going to take his first pit stop here, and on lap 40, this seems they will have to come down. This will put them about lap 80 or so when they have to come down again. 80, 81, they will have to come down and make it a 2-stop race as he's going to get in there. And we'll see. There's the left side's going up. The right side, sorry, going up. Left side should go up, and they do. Left side goes up. So 4 tires here as well. He's going to get off 14.3 a second stop. Back to the front. He goes a lap down. So does Josh Coley. They will join Ryan Maines 1 lap down here after pit stops for those 2. And when will the rest of this field come down? Mark Walls all over the back bumper of Jeff Stabnow. Sean Brightsman sitting in 3rd place. That is good news for him. However, it's again null and void unless Brian Bennett wins the race. And there is their other teammate, the 6 of John Ottenbacher, sitting back there in between there. Somebody who we talked about. What a run from 8th place to 4th now. That is the 12 of Jason Hunt. He has had a terrific run here tonight. Brian Barnes didn't even qualify. Here he is in 4th or 5th place. As we'll take a look at that. He started 13th and he is now in 5th. His lowest was 13th where he started, and his highest is 5th where he currently resides on the track. And we'll see. So far, nobody else coming down pit road, as those are the only 2 takers coming down a little bit early. And we'll see if that plan works out for him here in the race. As again, that was Josh Coley and Chris White that came down on lap 40 and 41. Will that strategy work out here in tonight's race? As nobody else coming down, but they should come down this time. As we did hear that these drivers may try to stretch it a little bit. If they can make it to lap 45 or 46, they could possibly do it. 43 to 44 is what we were told. But keep in mind, that was running 40-second laps. They're running 42 sixes here. So they're about 2.6 seconds slower than they were on those earlier laps. So they are conserving a little bit of fuel, but it looks like Mark Walls coming down for his teammate. Different strategies here for Wicked Chassis Racing drivers as Mark Walls brings it down to pit road. So does Jason Hunt. So this is going to get very interesting here as we're having different strategies for teammates here. Mark Walls coming down to pit road to take 4 tires and fuel, I assume. We'll wait and see as he's on to pit road, and a solid stop for him. He's on pit road. It looks like all's going to be good. Jason Hunt slides into his stop with a nice stop. We'll see. We got more takers coming down as well. Brian Bennett coming down as well as Doug Hunt. And looks like Doug Hunt will get into his stall as well. Good. And Brian Bennett does have a little bit of damage here, it looks like, possibly. Could just be the paint job there to make it look like that, but he gets in and out quickly. Here comes Sean Brightsman and Jeff Stabnow down at pit road. as well. And it looks like Brian Barnes and John Ottenbacher are going to come down as well. Good stop for Sean Brightsman. Jeff Stabnow coming to his stall. And he will have a good stop there. No, has to back up, as that will cost him some time on pit road. So we'll see Brian Barnes, 4 tires and fuel for him as well. Jeff Stabnow, current leader, but now it's going to be Sean Brightsman as he will get off pit road here. Mark Walls, no, it's Brian Brightsman, sorry, Mark Walls, where did he go? There he is. He is back out on the track. Josh Coley, though, now your race leader, as he was one of those that came in earlier. He now has 6 laps on his tires, and he is being chased down by Mark Walls very quickly. So will Mark Walls get by the 33 of Josh Coley? So we'll get a good shot of his hood there. Take a look. That time is not showing. There it is. 2 seconds behind. This could get very, very interesting. Josh Coley is your race leader because of that early pit stop. But will they stay there is the question. As we'll just have to wait and see. Can he hold off the race, or the second place? And it doesn't look like he's going to. He's going to slide up. Mark Walls is going to get by. Mark Walls, your new race leader here at the moment, is right there. He will slide up and take first away from Josh Coley in the 33. But Josh Coley having the run he needs. Now he needs to get the win to officially secure himself in. But he definitely needs to be ahead of Brian Bennett, who made a pit stop there. Was only there for 14.3 seconds, so did he make some changes for the long run? As we are over halfway done with this race. Lap 48 of 90. Halfway point has come and gone. Mark Walls out front. Brian Bennett struggling here at the halfway point, trying to get back to the front where he started. If he can, he would definitely be thrilled to obviously lock himself in. And as they run, if by some freak chance he can get back up there, and I say freak chance, he's a good driver. He very well could do it. If Brian Bennett can get back up to the front, win this race, and nobody else changes hands, it would be Sean Brightsman by 1 point that was able to get in. Now it would be 1 point. So you see right there, there is the 46 of Sean Brightsman. He is running down Josh Coley. So again, right now they are both in the chase. Brian Bennett gets ahead of them and wins this race, then these two really have to fight it out. So every position counts here in tonight's race for Josh Coley and Sean Brightsman, because they cannot just assume that Brian Bennett will not work his way up to the front. He's fast enough, he's a good enough driver that he could work his way back up to the front. We want to note here that Jeff Stabnow back in 9th place. After that pit stop, he had to back up. That cost him a lot of time on pit road, as he was there for 31 seconds. And I believe he may have had a penalty as well, because that stop should not have taken 31 seconds here. So let's go back here and see if we can get a look at that, see what might have happened, as again, whoops, and it's got off of Jeff Stabnow here. We'll see if we can figure out what happened. Okay, there is Jeff Stabnow on his in his pit stall, and that car is done, and there he is taking off. So indeed, facing a penalty on pit road. Probably got caught speeding on pit road, is why he was there, because it was not a drive-through penalty, because he was on pit road for a minute 6.9. So it looks like a speeding on pit road may have bitten him here tonight, as we'll go back up to live. Luckily, it didn't put him a lap down, but he is back in 9th place now. Mark Walls has since put a big gap between him, as we'll see how big that gap is on his teammate once he gets to the line. As there it is. We'll see right there coming into the back stretch, and there's his teammate just crossing the line. So a good about half a track gap here on lap 52. So Jeff Stabnow had a shot at the win. Luckily, he doesn't need it to advance, but he definitely had a really good shot, a really fast truck. But it looks like a speeding penalty on pit road will be the downfall here for Jeff Stabnow, unfortunately, if that is the case. So that is very unfortunate that did happen. Again, we're assuming that is what happened. We do not know for 100% certainty that is what happened to him. So we are showing here that there was an incident with 0. So if that is correctly showing, he did pit on lap 45. So again, we are trying to just guess here that is what happened. We do not know for sure, but we'll definitely have to talk to him if we do get a caution here. Josh Coley and Sean Breitzman still second and third here right now. Sean Breitzman does have the upper hand as they're still trying to duke it out for who gets into the chase, who doesn't, but right now they're both in. We'll take a look here back to John Ottenbacher. We haven't talked about him a whole lot here tonight, sitting currently in 7th place. As we'll look up here, he started in 5th. That was his highest. He's been as low as 10th, currently in 7th, so falling back here just a little bit. But again, we've had a lot of people that may have been predicting here for short runs, and we have had another long run here, caution free. We'll pull that up one more time. Caution free with Mark Walls now the fastest lap, 40.148, and that was run here on lap 46. So not too many ago, about 9 laps ago when he ran that. So interesting enough, that track temp is still sitting at 77 degrees. It has fluctuated between 77, 78 degrees. Air temp staying right at 76 here for tonight's race. So not much changing on that front. But again, such a dominant run here for Mark Walls. He's had a very good run, and I say dominant. It really hasn't been that dominant. It may turn into that now, but he's only led 28. Jeff Stabnow led 23. Bennett led 2 at the start of the race. Josh Coley led 1, and Sean Breitzman led 1. So other people have led laps here tonight, but Mark Walls currently has the most laps led here. And we'll see. So far, no cautions have come out to regroup this field. If we regroup this field, things could change here for everybody. Alright, so let's go up here. Let's just go through the fields real quick. Just go through our top 5 drivers one more time. As we'll go ahead and pull the top 5 up right now. After 56 laps, it is the 48 of Mark Walls out front, followed by the 46 of Sean Breitzman in second. Third place belongs to the 33 of Josh Coley, and fourth place belongs to the 00 of Chris White. And 12th place belongs to, fifth place belongs to the 12 of Jason Hunt here so far in tonight's races. We'll get rid of that, and you see your top 3. We'll bring that ticker back so you can see exactly where everybody is. But Mark Walls out front, and no cautions so far. Sean Breitzman in second. Can he get up there to his teammate is the question. Let's go on board here with Sean Breitzman with the roll bar camera and just let you see what it's like to be in his shoes here tonight. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, still no caution has come out to regroup this, and this may be what these drivers need to regroup this field a little bit, is that caution, but we don't look to be going to see it at all here tonight. I do want to give an update here as we have 30 laps to go now. As of right now, Ray Fournier is a lap down. Gary Nichols 1 lap down. Ryan Maines is now out of the race, 15 laps down. And, of course, William Fletcher, Scott Hutchinson did not start the race here tonight. But we do want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. That is watching. It has been a great race so far. A lot of cars have got spread out here. But definitely some good racing in between that. We'll go back here. That's a driver I want to highlight here. I think probably one of the biggest movers here tonight. I don't know if he's officially gained the most spots, but 8th to 3rd place. What a run! 3rd was the highest, of course. Currently sitting in 5th, but worked his way up to 3rd place here tonight. Has fallen off here just because of the pit stops. Kind of worked his way, but the two that pitted earlier in this race, they have 23 laps on their tires. That is Chris White. He's sitting in 4th place right now, as Josh Coley sitting in 3rd place right now. So the two drivers that came down pit road about 5 laps earlier than everybody else are now sitting in 3rd and 4th. So this strategy may play out for them. If they can try to get the win, it would be very interesting to see if they can. As they are coming around there, you see Josh Coley getting a little loose as he comes out of the corner. As that was turn 4, he gets to the line, and you still see Chris White trying to use as much of that groove below that white line as he can. However, he cannot go fully below it. You can get maybe about a half car, maybe a quarter of it down there. You cannot use all of it, but it looks like Chris White may have a run here as well on Josh Coley. Will he be able to get by him? Currently, they are separated by 0.416, now 0.400. So the 00 of Chris White does have a run on Josh Coley for 3rd place. Again, as of they run right now, Brian Bennett sitting in 9th place. Breitzman and Coley both would be in, and that's good news considering the fact that Chris White may be getting by Josh Coley here on the next lap or two, as he has a huge run on him. He's going to take it to the inside. They're side by side going into turn 2. Going to the backstretch. Who is it going to be coming into turn 3? When they get there, it looks like it's going to be the 00. Possibly, you can see both of them bouncing on this track. It's just so bumpy. They're trading it back. It's White, then Coley, White, then Coley. Back and forth, but here comes Chris White to the inside. Can't complete the pass, though. And it looks like Coley's going to slide up a little bit to try to avoid making contact. And thought that was going to secure the spot. No, Chris tries to slide up. Can't quite do it. He does not have him cleared. And he does there. Has him cleared. Josh Coley, though, all over his back bumper. Josh Coley may try to make a rebound here and come back, as he's to the inside now. And he may have the momentum he needs to get that spot back. Again, these are battling for 3rd position right now. 1st and 2nd have pretty much checked out from this field. So this is probably one of the closest battles that you have going on the track right now, as we're still keeping an eye on Jeff Stabnow, who is quite a bit back. And there goes Josh Coley down pit road here on about lap 30 or so for him. May have been less than that. He is back on pit road. We'll see if this is the winning move for him, as he's coming down and nobody else coming with him. Chris White stayed out. He did not opt to come down pit road, as we'll see if this is a splash and go or if he's going to take tires as well. This could get very interesting indeed. He does take right side tires. Will he take left side tires? He's already revving the engine, so I didn't think so. Revving that engine. You see that flame come out. He is going to take right sides only and fuel. He's off. 10.2 seconds. we'll see. Chris White has to come down. Will he deploy the same strategy here, right sides and fuel? He won't know what Josh Coley did because he did not come down with him. So if they were even close, he could have probably seen what he did, but at that point it wouldn't matter because he was committed to it. And he is going to stop in his stall right there. He may have to back up. He does. As he overshoots it a little bit, what will he do? Right side's going up. We know he's taking fuel. He has to take fuel. Will he take 4 tires or will it be 2? And revving it up as well. And no, he is going to take 4 tires and fuel here for the 00 of Chris White. He's now going to go a lap down. I'm pretty sure Josh Coley is currently a lap down as well. But that is because of pit stops here. So we'll see Chris White also 1 lap down as he's coming back out of pit road. We'll see. Will he go multiple laps down? I don't think he will, but we'll be waiting to see where Mark Walls is, as I don't think he's anywhere near putting him a lap down. He's not. Mark Walls just crossing the line, so he should be safe as far as going another lap down. That will do it. Josh Coley, Chris White, they have made their last pit stop here for the night. They do not need to make another one, so we'll see when everybody else comes down pit road, and will they make it. So right now we have of course, you see there 70, 80, 90. We have 31 laps to go. Looks like 30, but it's 31. They have to complete lap 90. So it is 31 laps to go. Or, 21 laps left to go with my math. Thinking 21 in my head said 31, but 30 or 21 laps to go is all that remains in this race. The race is winding down. Caution free here at Autoclub Speedway. This will be 2 in a row if they can go caution free here again. They went caution free in the Xfinity race. They are going caution free so far. It is now 20 laps to go. Sean Brightsman going to try to do something to get by his teammate. If I was Sean Brightsman, I would short pit him. If you know when he's going in, you've got to go in a lap or 2 before. Probably about a lap early. Get those tires up there and get the fuel in there. They're teammates, so this is where you get into a little bit of a gray area here. But at the end of the day, we know from this team there is absolutely zero pecking order. It is all-out war when it comes to winning the race. They won't wreck each other, and, well, that's about as far as the rules go as far as winning a race. They'll race each other clean, but they're going to race each other hard for the win. But nobody else coming down here so far, as right now it's 27 laps on everybody's tires except for Josh Coley, who has 4. Chris White has 3. They're running 40 to 41 second laps. Everybody else running 42s and 43s, as Mark Wall starting to conserve here a little bit. It looks like 43.0. We'll see if that next lap by, as he's fixing to cross the line right there. It's 42.9, so that last one may have just been a little bit of traffic in the way as well, possibly. He's trying to get by, but he hasn't put anyone lap down yet, so it could have been Ray Fournier or probably Gary Nichols, who is 3 laps down. But regardless, no, it wasn't, because he's about to pass him now. So he was, I bet he was conserving fuel there. Again, these are speculations. We don't know for sure. He could have just had a bad lap, but he very well could be trying to conserve fuel and stay out as long as possible, as we're closing in on that 10 to go here in about 7 laps. We'll see. Nobody else coming down. We're on lap 28. Or lap 29 here of this stint, so they should be coming in here. I don't think they'll come in. They could make it till about lap probably 88, 89, somewhere in there before they ran out. So we may see these guys come in here with about 10 to go, just to have enough laps after they come down pit road to try to get up to speed and try to make something happen. I seriously doubt we'll see anybody come in with 2 laps to go. That would be kind of crazy to see. So again, I expect to see them come down a little sooner than that. And no real battles going on the track here. We do have, of course, pit stops coming up shortly, so we're going to step away for what hopefully will be our last commercial break of the night, and we will go non-stop once again.
confirm, I'll take. Say command.
What is the weather like in LA?
The weather is clear in LA.
What is the weather like in New York?
The weather is rain in New York.
Use flow mode.
Low.
Say hello, TT.
Hello, TT.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We're on lap 78 of 90. This is 33 laps on the stint. We know they can make 43 to 44. So 10 more laps. They might be able to make it on fuel here. I'm not thinking they could. That would, 10 more laps would be... we got about 12 laps to go, so 13 laps to go technically. So that would be 45, 46 laps. It's going to be very close to see if these guys make it on fuel or not. Depending on how much they've conserved, it is possible, very unlikely, but possible that somebody could make it on fuel here, as Sean Breitzman does get by the leader here just now. So Breitzman is your new race leader. Mark Walls giving up the lead here. I'm sure he didn't want to give it up. Oh, Mark Walls going for a spin. He goes around. Will it bring out the caution? It does. Caution is out for the first and only time here tonight. Mark Walls hard into the inside or the outside wall after spinning. Let's go back and take a look. Right there, gets it loose, coming out of the corner. That was turn 2 that he came out of, and then slings it back around, hits the outside wall, the back of the truck, and that will definitely make him have to use his fast repair, as the caution is out for the first and only time here tonight for the 48 of Mark Walls. Again, that is not what we expected to see here. We expected this thing to go the rest of the way. We have 11 laps to go. So we'll let these guys get to pit stops here, and then we'll talk to... we know exactly what happened there to the 48, so we'll try to talk to the 48 and the 24 if we get a chance. We'll start with the 48, of course, as he was the one involved in that. But first we'll see if he's going to come down and take tires or not, and a fuel. Obviously, I think everyone will come down except for maybe our front two, front two, Josh Coley and Chris White, who were down recently, and they're going to get the wave around here. Josh Coley sitting right there, so Josh Coley, I believe, will get the lucky dog as well. So looks like, well, no, Tom Green possibly will, as they all stayed out. So all those drivers getting the wave around here. Two of those are two of our chase drivers, the 33 and the 00. There goes the lucky dog of Tom Green. The rest of these will take the wave around and be at the tail end of the lead lap. So pitting early and not working out for them here tonight. But meanwhile, everybody else is on pit road. Jeff Stabenow having to back up on pit road again. Has just not had the night here on pit road. But if he's going to have bad luck on pit road, this is the night to do it. As you see right there, the 48 revving up the engine. He is ready to get off pit road. And as soon as he does, we will take a word with him here. As we will go on aboard him with the roll bar camera real quick. So let's wait till he gets past that blue cone. And then we will talk to Mark. As to not get him caught drifting up this track or anything, as he has to stay right there below the white line. He's good to go now. So let's pull Mark Walls up here and get a quick talk with him. Mark Walls, you got a copy?
10-4.
Well, Unfortunately, you didn't get spun, just got loose on you. It looked like, and spun it around, hit the back end of the car or the truck on the wall. It looks like you used your fast repair, but all in all, you came out of the pits in third. So, for getting involved in a wreck here, it doesn't seem to have hurt you too bad.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I was able to take a fast repair. I didn't know I had damage until I hit the pit box, and by then you can't select it. So, it happens. We were running free all night. I tried to make adjustments to help that, and we didn't quite get it good enough. So we'll give it a run here at the end. Got the win from Dover, so not too worried about this one.
Yeah, definitely locked in here. We just wanted to get it in here real quick. We're also going to pull Jeff here and talk to him for just a minute. But any quick shout-outs before we let you go?
Yeah, we just got to give a shout-out again to David Cater. Passed away recently. Big icon to the iRacing as a community. And got to thank Wicked Chassis and BRN.
All right, well, we'll get you back up there, and we are going to swap him out, and we are going to pull Jeff Stabnow. Jeff Stabnow, you got a copy?
I got you, man.
Well, we got you here real quick as we're on board with you here. We didn't get a chance to talk to you here, but we saw your first pit stop, 31 seconds. We figured it was probably a speeding on pit road. Was that the case?
Yeah, I tried to stretch it and get that extra lap of fuel so I could do it one stop. I was running out of fuel, and I was too busy looking at the fuel gauge and coming into pit road and thinking about coasting. And I just came in a little bit hot there, worried about because it was sputtering, and I got a speeding ticket and had to hold for 15 seconds. So missed my pit. Yeah, the whole thing. So.
Yeah, we saw you have to back up twice, but it looks like the lights should go off here soon. But is it good to get those mistakes kind of out of the way now when they don't matter as much as next week?
Well, the second one there was we don't have the lollipop, and the guy drove right through my pit at the exact time I was trying to come to a stop. So you just lose all point of reference when he drives through you like that, right at that spot. So I don't know that there's any getting that one out of your system. The first one was me just gambling on fuel because I'm already in.
Oh.
So, yeah.
It will happen, but looks like the lights are off, so we're going to get you back up there so you can get ready to get this race started. Or restarted.
All right, 10-4, buddy.
All right, there it is. We are just about ready to go racing here. We got we're going to have I'd say about 7 laps to go when we get this to going. So why not? We have not had a chance to do it here all night long. Let's go to our static camera here, and we're going to do a little crank it up when we go live. So we're going to go radio silent, and we're going to do about 2 or 3 laps here of crank it up on VRN, and we'll come back to finish this race off. So we are going to go radio silent. Crank it up coming up next. All right, we are back as we're going to go back to our main camera here. And what a race it has been here 5 laps ago. That's all that remains. Look at them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in a row. It's Sean Brightsman who needed the win here tonight, and it looks like he's going to get it. But again, based on point standings as they run right now, even though he will get the win, it is not going to matter for Josh Coley, as Brian Bennett, of course, is not going to get the win, as he is, well, we say that he's not yet anyway. He is currently sitting in 7th place, right behind Mark Walls, who did have that spin, and he is trying to work his way back up. But Brian Bennett needed the win. If Brian Bennett won, it would be a bigger show between the 46 and the 33, but that is not how this one played out. So even if, of course, Sean Brightsman gets the win, it would still allow Josh Coley to be in. He would just be right where he is, and that would push Brian Barnes and Chris White down. So if they win, it would be roughly, or if the 46 does win, it will be roughly like this. It will be Jeff Stabnow, Mark Walls, Sean Brightsman, Chris White, Brian Barnes, and Josh Coley will be your 6 moving on to the next round. Again, that is based off of how they're running right now. That is a rough estimate of how this one would play out. That would eliminate Brian Bennett as the caution comes out for Gary Nichols, and that is going to do it here for tonight's race. Let's go back and take a look here and see what happened to the 8. Him and the 71 of Brian Bennett get together, and that is going to put him hard into the wall, inside wall, upside down, and gets clobbered by Josh Coley as well. Josh Coley getting a piece of the action. Let's go back and take another look at that here from a different angle. Right there, slides up and just hammers the 8. The 71 of Brian Bennett hammers him. You see right there, Josh Coley nowhere to go, but just clobbers him once again. Somehow, I don't know how that did not destroy Josh Coley's truck, but he will keep it going in one piece. That was a hard lick twice for Gary Nichols, as he was dead on the track there. He's back on pit road, and unofficially that is going to give the win to the 46 of Sean Brightsman. And someone we didn't talk about too much tonight here. We did talk about him for a little bit as he came from the back of this field. He did not qualify here tonight, so let's pull that driver bar up. That is the 4 of Brian Barnes. Started 13th, nearly dead last, and worked his way all the way up to 2nd place, but he's going to finish in 3rd. So we talked about him there for a little bit, but the little silent sleeper here coming into the picture to finish in a solid 3rd place finish here tonight, and he is in the chase. Remember, he's in the chase. Did not qualify though, but he will get a 3rd place finish here tonight. So what a run here for Brian Barnes, who did not qualify. So from 13th to 3rd, 10 places gained, as he will also be moving on to the next round, as this race is on its final lap, presented by Northwest Racing Series. As, of course, you're watching them here tonight, their truck series. This is the David Cater 180 presented by Walls Beard Co. here at Autoclub Speedway. And that is, again, unfortunately going to be how it ends under caution. But it's going to be your top 5. We'll go through them again. It's going to be Sean Brightsman, Jeff Stabnow, Brian Barnes, John Ottenbacher in 4th, and Mark Walls capturing a 5th place here tonight. Unfortunately, not the way we wanted it to end here under caution, but that is sometimes how it happens, as they will cross the line. Sean Brightsman locking himself into the next round. He needed to get the win. Technically, because Brian Bennett did not get the win, he did not have to win. He just needed to place good, but he did that and then some. He gets the win. Checkers flags are waving, And officially, when they get to the line right there, your race winner is going to be the 46 of Sean Breitzman. Oh, that'll do it. Let's go to your unofficial race results here for tonight's race. As we will pull them up here. Getting the win is going to be the 46 of Sean Breitzman. Second place will go to the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. Third place will go to the 4 of Brian Barnes. Fourth place will be the 89 of John Ottenbacher. Fifth place will be the 48 of Mark Walls. Sixth place will be Jason Hunt. Seventh place, Brian Bennett. Eighth place, Tom Green. Ninth place, Chris White. 10th place, Josh Coley. 11th place, Ray Fournier. 12th place, Jason Hunt. 13th place, Gary Nichols. 14th place will go to Ryan Maines. And 15th and 16th, not starting, but those will be William Fletcher and Scott Hutchinson here for tonight's race. So that will do it, as it's going to be the 46 of Sean Breitzman putting it in victory lane, and he's going to do some donuts in victory lane. We'll step away. We'll be right back here with your top 3 interviews coming up here in the post-race show. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here with the post-race show, and we do not have third place with us, but we have fourth place, so we're going to talk to him here tonight, and of course that is the 89 of John Ottenbacher, who I believe does have a fan out there watching tonight, so good thing we get to talk to you here. But you started 5th, got as high as 4th, and then ended up staying there, but you did get as low as 10th here during the cycle of pit stops and all of that. So you're not in the chase, just barely outside. I believe you think you were in 9th, so you were just outside making it in. So not being in it, having teammates in it here, obviously we know you still are out there trying to get the win, so going through the rest of this season, Iowa next week, and then we're off for Christmas. Is it just all about the wins, and you're going to try to get every one of them you can now?
Yeah, it was nice to get a good finish tonight. Those were short to come on this year, and I just coming out here trying to get the win, and or just support the teammates as much as possible.
Well, definitely out there pushing them. And again, we're looking at the schedule for coming up. What are your thoughts on Iowa? As I believe that is the next track. Yes, it is. Iowa coming up next. And then Chicagoland, the New Hampshire. So some short tracks in there. What are your thoughts on the short tracks being in there? Do you fare good at them usually, or are you looking to more of a Chicagoland and Homestead to try to just pad your stats with some wins?
I think all the next few tracks other than maybe New Hampshire, I do fairly well at. I like Iowa, especially as a short track. It's not a typical one, and it's fun to drive. Yeah, and really looking forward to Homestead. I usually do fairly well there. And since I didn't have a real good season, the end of that season is looking pretty good.
Well, definitely, like you said, here at the end, it's just all about trying to get the wins and, finish out the season strong for the team, and you're doing that here with top 5 finishes. And we know you got some shout-outs and sponsors, so who would those be here for that third or fourth place finish tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out to my wife, Christy, who's listening tonight, and just thank her for allowing me to be able to do race with these guys and have fun. And love you, honey. And I got to thank Wicked Chassis Racing for the great sets that they do. I know we all put a lot of work into it and a lot of laps, and just appreciate everything that I get with the team. I gotta put out there the David Cater Memorial Race here tonight. Was a fun race. Was hoping to go green the whole way, but I had that caution, which maybe actually allowed me to get an extra position. So I didn't know David, but I heard a lot of good things about him, and just wish his family condolences. So just gotta thank the whole Northwest crew. All these guys are fun to race with out here. I just gotta thank all my friends out here.
All right. Well, not a third place that's who we talked to, but congrats on fourth place finish here tonight. And since we don't have third, we're going to jump right into second place, who had a really, really fast truck here, led 23 laps. But in the end, pit road bit him here tonight, but still managed to finish second place. So this race didn't really, it didn't matter. You don't want to say it didn't matter, but it didn't matter as far as getting into the next round. You were already locked in. So hopefully those little incidents don't roll over to next week. But, we talked about it a little bit on the radio with you there. If you're going to have them and you have to, you don't want to say get them out of the way, but if everyone's going to have a mulligan or a bad thing, would you rather have them before you get to the next chase?
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm leading the league by a long ways in black flags this season, probably in both the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series. So I don't know that there's any getting it out of the way. It continues to bite me in the butt, and probably got away with one there in the Xfinity Series. So we need to rein that in. Truck was a rocket tonight. I think we had a good shot to just get out there and maybe even get the win. Got a little cute on that pit stop and ended up getting a black flag out of the deal when I started paying attention to other things. And so it bit me in the butt, sent me to the back, got me a nice holding pit road, and just fortunate enough that we were able to get back up here and get through traffic at the end. So got some things got to fix, but speed doesn't seem to be one of them. It's the other things that we need to start working on now for the next round of the chase.
Definitely, they could say, like they say, championships are won on pit road. They really are. Usually in real life, that indicates, actually hiring a crew, making sure you have a good crew. But in this case, it's all driver. You got to make sure, obviously, you don't get caught speeding or, hitting the cone or anything like that coming on pit road. So we look forward to hopefully seeing those limited and having a good, solid run here in these last few races. And we know one thing, your penalties will not be a product of us pulling you to the booth. Again, we've made sure we're not going to do that again, as we felt really bad about that. But
all good, man. We made it by. And, So don't worry about that, man. That was half on me, anyways.
Well, we'll take 50%, but regardless of that, you're in the next round. You're moving on, starting fresh with points. So that being said, we know you have a lot of sponsors and shout-outs, so we'll give you that time.
Yeah, I think we'll start with the person who the race was meant to honor here tonight, David Keeter. I think we talked about him in the last couple of races and interviews. Recently passed away. He was very instrumental in helping new people get into and learn how to do open setups in iRacing. So obviously, this is an open setup league, and that's kind of even if David didn't directly help the people in this league, he helped the people that helped the people, right? Mark was a teammate. Mark learned from him. Mark, has paid that forward with setup sessions for years, teaching guys how to build setups. But there's plenty of guys. I mean, you go into an open race, public library, or lobby, and if you were having an issue, he'd stop doing whatever he was doing and offer to help you without you even asking. He was just that kind of guy. He'd help anybody out. We got, in the community, in the forums and things like that. People had questions. So, I think he kind of personified what it is that we think we want to be with the Northwest Truck Series, both in helping people, get better and learn how to do open setups, and then kind of the community aspect, being a good neighbor. All of that, those are things that we strive for here. And I don't think there's a better example in the iRacing world than David Cater. So, and then you add that, what he meant to somebody like Mark, and there's a couple other people in here who knew him well too. So I think it was an honor tonight to get to honor David Cater and his family. I know he's got a GoFundMe out there, and if anybody's got a few dollars rolling around, I can't think of a much more deserving cause. I know there's probably every cause out there is deserving, but certainly this has to rank up there with them. Other than that, obviously we got VRN and Wall Street Co. Y'all make this happen. You work so hard. We got the admins. We got Mark, Sean, John, worked their butts off to make this happen. Then we got the admin wives. We got Christy in chat and Emily putting up with Sean there at home, and Justine putting up with Mark. I mean, I think she's pregnant, sitting at home. I think she even let Mark wait till after the race to go get Taco Bell tonight. So, they're just so patient and let these guys put all the time in working with us. So, hats off to all the family members that let the teammates come out and do this. We really have a blast. So, and then of course, all the drivers in the series. Guys like Brian Bennett, Josh Coley, Brian Barnes. I mean, they're just a bunch of fun guys in there. Good drivers. Chris White. I mean, Jason Hunt missed most season, come back. Man, he had a hot rod tonight. Great to get him back in there building sets. So, man, it's just fun. And a lot of people make that happen, even though it's not out there racing. So, just big shout out to everybody that helps us out with that.
All right. Sorry, Sean. We ran out of time. We're sorry, Jeff. We have to get you for that every time. We do have our race winner here tonight. That is Sean Breitzman. And we don't really put a time limit on these. We'll go all night if we have to. And we may with Sean because we got a lot to cover. That being said, coming into this race, at one point, Brian Bennett wasn't here. You really didn't have to do a whole lot. Just show up and you were in. Then he showed up. So him being in there and then qualifying on pole, what kind of pressure did that put on you, knowing that then once he was on pole, if he had the car or the truck here to win, that you only had 2 points over Josh Coley and that one of you were on the chopping block if he won this race?
A ton of pressure. I screwed up in qualifying and hit the wall and just totally blew it. Saw he was on the pole and just pressure started kicking in there. I was like, I got to get through these through the back of the field here quick, get up to the front and try to lead some laps and make my way. And of course we had that enormously long green flag run, which was great, but definitely put a lot of pressure on me.
Well, it definitely was some great racing. Obviously, coming in here, we watched you hit the wall during qualifying. You knew you needed to have a good finish. You went above and beyond that to get the win here. Started 12th, finished first, led 14 laps. Not the most laps. You led the third most laps. Obviously, your two teammates, Mark Walls and Jeff Stabnow, led the most or more than you, but you didn't need to lead any laps except for that last one, and that's the one that you ended up leading here. So you're moving on to the next round. Same question here as we asked the others. You got Iowa and New Hampshire, two short tracks, and Chicagoland. So do you think you have one of those that is probably going to be your best shot at getting the win? Obviously, we know you're going to go all out on all of them, but which one do you think is probably your best shot?
I love all three tracks. They're all great tracks. I'd probably put New Hampshire at my one that I feel most confident in. But Iowa and Chicagoland are right up there. I mean, they're close second and third for sure in racetracks I like to race here in iRacing.
Well, definitely some good tracks. We love to see the little short tracks in here. Iowa should definitely be a good one to watch. That being said, again, just an outstanding run here for you. You came in, probably was a little concerned. Look, I don't know how I'm going to do here tonight after qualifying, but you proved you had a fast truck, and it's not a matter of where you start, it's a matter of where you finish, and you did that here tonight to get the win, to lock yourself in. So first off, we'll say congrats one more time on that, and we know you got some sponsors and shout-outs, so who would those be for that win here tonight?
Yeah, just got to thank everybody at Wicked Chassis Racing, Virtual Racing Network, Walls Beard Co., and then, of course, the memorial races Jeff and John both had talked about, and I'm sure you've got a link in there for the GoFundMe for David Cater. Jeff said it, David Cater's a big part of iRacing and big part of where Open Setups were, so just can't say, my condolences to the family. Rest in peace, David. Godspeed. And they're having a final drive, basically, for him. They're going to throw on his team's going to throw a race together. That is going to be on Wednesday, December 19th. It's David Cater's final drive at Chicagoland in the iRacing A car, Monster Energy Cup car, basically. I'm sure it's going to be open setups, 134 laps at, I think, 9 p.m. Eastern. So anybody that can should try to get into that. Registrations close, I think, on Tuesday, the day before, but you can donate anytime, and I think there's some entry or payouts for the top finishers too. So definitely for a good cause to help the family of Mr. Cater. So just big shout out to them.
Well, definitely we'll be watching that race as well. Good, all going to a good cause. That is, however, going to do it here for tonight's race. Before we sign off, we of course want to thank all of the sponsors here for tonight. Of course, on the racing side, ourselves here at VRN, and pulling double duty once again is Walls Beard Co. at Beard Bomb, Northwest Racing Series, Ohio IndyCar League, SimSpeedShop.com, iBog, and again, we didn't have a chance to get it in here. It's been hectic around here tonight, but RaceCore Online Racing League coming on here, brand new as of yesterday, is an official sponsor, so make sure you check them out if you're looking to get into some racing, as well as this league here if you're in the Northwest, but definitely check them out. Both great racing covered here on VRN every race night until the next race, of course, which will be Sunday for RaceCore. We'll see you there, and have a safe and a great rest of your night.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be used in any form without the authorized written consent of Virtual Racing Network. VRN would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.